What's good, everybody? We're back here with the full UFC 314 finalized, I'm going to say final another 5 times. No, the final predictions for the card. Let's get right into it. Canceled fights. I'm going to be really rapid fire with this shit. I think Carlos Prates would have KO'd Jeff Neal in round 2 after a rough first round. I would have picked Alberto Montez to win by submission against Roberto Romero in round 2. Romero slows down a lot after round 1. Arman would have raped Chandler. This fight was never going to happen. This fight was never going to happen. Pantoja's going to win if this fight ever gets made. Fuck this fight. I don't want it to happen. And I would have picked Michael Morales to knock out... nah. No, I would have picked Gilbert Burns, I would have picked Gilbert Burns to knock him out. No, I would have picked Burns to win a decision. But I think if they fight in Montreal, which that fight's rumored or officially signed, I think he beats Burns in Montreal. I don't know why. I think another month of training for Burns is not going to benefit him, and I think it's going to benefit the younger guy, Michael Morales. But here we are at the first fight. Nora Wonder Colnol takes on Haley All Hail Cowan. Guys, I'm going to take... this fight's pretty straightforward. I don't really think there's much to talk about. Cornol's a pretty decent striker on the feet. Her only loss to, I think, Jacqueline Cavalcanti, it's not a bad loss. Cavalcanti, I believe, is undefeated in the UFC, and she's on her own little tear right now. Cornol's, outside of that, has won 4 straight. Haley Cowan lost to Jamie Lynn Horth, who's trash. I don't like Haley Cowan that much. I don't rate her highly. I rate Nora Cornol at least a little more highly. She's more gay looking, so that's going to help. I'm going to lean the slight favorite, minus 190 at Nora Cornol. And if you're going to bet this fight, guys, there's a small world where fucking Nora Cornol knocks her out. But I promise you guys, this fight is a very, very likely over 2.5 rounds play. If Cornol knocks her out, it will be very late. The pick's going to be Nora Cornol by 30-27. Clear decision. Honestly, I think maybe Halen. Do I want to pick classic women's 29-28? No. I'm going to save that for the next women's fight. But moving on up the card, Tresean, Mr. Vicious Gore, takes on Marco Matuto Tulio. I rate Tulio. I rate the way he fights. I don't have him the most highly rated prospect right now, but I do think he's really good. He's got a spinning back kick knockout on the Contender Series, which is just very, very clean. He fucking destroyed Ihor Peteria, who Cesar Almeida couldn't get out of there in 3 rounds. You know what I mean? And had to cheat a lot in that fight to win. I do rate Tresean Gore, though, but he's caught both of his fights with the same move. And I think he's going to look to wrestle Tulio in this fight. I think Tulio is going to have to defend some takedowns. But I think Gore will land some shots on the feet, but I do lean the heavy favorite, moderate favorite, but I'm going to lean Marco Tulio to win this fight via round 2 KO. And I do think, guys, it's going to be with a uppercut to start off whatever sequence happens. I think he's going to rock Tresean with an uppercut and finish him with various punches and kicks from there. I just feel like Tresean dips his head a little, especially when he starts to feint those shots. I think, you know what? I'm actually going to say it's an uppercut and then like Khalil and Smith style, but not as loopy with the right hand. It's going to be more of a straight down the middle right hand. So I think it's going to be an uppercut cross for Marco Tulio in early round 2. Puts Tresean Gore down and out. I like Tresean Gore, bro, but I think the pea shooter is going to sleep. Hopefully he wins. But I don't think he's going to be able to beat Marco Tulio, man. I rate Marco Tulio pretty highly, and I like Marco Tulio to win this fight inside the distance. And I think it's going to be by KO, guys. Moving on up the card to Sumu Duarji and Mitch Raposo. Guys have done the tape, and I've actually almost convinced myself, and I think I've convinced myself, guys. I think I'm gonna go with the underdog in Mitch Raposo. There's not much. There's obviously explanation behind this pick, but there wasn't much thought process going into it. I just thought, okay, this guy went to a split with Lima, which I really do rate highly because Lima just submitted a submission specialist in Barres. And not just that, Sumu Darji has some really bad moments in his losses. Like Schnell fight. We don't want to talk about the losses itself, but what happens in those fights. He couldn't put Matt Schnell away in a dogfight and got submitted out cold. Got his face split with elbows. Sumu Darji's cardio is just atrocious, dude. He every time he's in a hard fight or someone that tries to push the pace against him, he does break, he does quit. Elliott broke him, submitted him. 13 losses on Elliott's record. Such a shit record. Obviously, Elliott's fun, though, always. And Charles Johnson, he fumbles a finish on. Or no, it was Johnson that fumbled the finish on him. But, Duerji was looking really good in that fight, though, which kind of made me want to pick him. But after the tape, I just realized guys that stay in his face, guys that really put that pressure on him. I don't think Raposo's going to wrestle much, but I think there's a chance we see him wrestle a bit, you know what I mean? And I could see him actually knocking Sumu Duerji out as well. I'm going to pick Mitch Raposo to win this fight by a 29-28 split decision. And I think it's going to be, you know what, actually? I'm going to say 29-28 unanimous for Raposo. As the underdog, I'm going to take him as a slight plus 145 underdog. Obviously, the Chinese guys are good. I just feel like Mitch is going to get a win, you know what I mean? He hasn't got a win in the UFC, and I think he fought in the UFC before. If I recall, no, I don't think he did. Yeah, he fought in LFA, and he's 0-1 in the UFC, dude. He's going to be looking for that win. He lost in the Contender Series. He needs something, and I feel like this is going to be a win for him. I'm feeling it, bro. This is kind of a Reese McKee vibe I'm getting from Mitch Raposo. Not to knock out Duerji and finish him, but... And obviously, Duerji's way more proven than fucking that garbage can Daniel Fruzna. But, yeah, I'm going to be taking Mitch Raposo as the underdog, guys, to win this fight against Sumu Duerji. Chinese fuck. This poster's sick for this fight, by the way, for this card. Moving on up the card to a fight, I've switched another pick on. Michal Husar Oleksiejczuk takes on Cedricus the Reaper Dumas. I really wanted to pick Cedricus in this fight, guys. I really do. And am I gonna? Cedricus points, huh? You know, guys, fuck it. I'm going to take another underdog. I think Cedricus Dumas is going to win this fight by decision. I think he's going to be able to outstrike Michal Oleksiejczuk. I think he's going to get hurt in the first round, but Michal slows down. He does not have that pace. He does maraud forward, but I can see Dumas just outpointing him to a decision, you know what I mean? Kind of working the judges' scorecards in Miami. He's got the Boot Gang look, you know what I mean? Miami's going to want this guy to win. I'm going to say Cedricus Dumas wins a 29-28 unanimous decision, loses the first round after getting stung really bad, but comes back to win it and actually shows some championship medal. And actually, I think he's going to wrestle with Michal, and I was surprised to see Dumas double-leg Cody Brundage to the ground 3 times and Brundage never even had a chance to get back up. Dumas does need to advance his position because I think the ref's going to stop a bit more of these fights because it's a pay-per-view, obviously, if they're holding each other and stalling. But I can see a Dumas... I can see Cedricus Dumas winning this fight by decision. 29-28, guys. I think it's a close fight. I really do want to pick Mikhail Oleksiejczuk, but I just can't bring myself to do it. And I'm actually going to go $200 in a row, guys. And what's the odds on Dumas? All right, bro. Plus 165, dog. I might actually bet on him. I don't know. Dumas is hard to trust because, getting subbed by Josh Fremd is fucking... Why? Why are you getting submitted by Josh Fremd? Like, yeah, the Ruzaboev fight, he got fucking eye-poked and subbed. Or not subbed and ground and pounded out, which was kind of fucking bullshit. The ref should have given him a chance. He clearly showed the ref that he was done. And moving on to a fight, I've switched again. Guys, I really wanted to stick with that Elkins pick, but I've just had people convincing me. Darren the Damage Elkins takes on Chu CJ, Julian Erosa. I think Julian Erosa is going to submit him. I watched Elkins and Pineda back and a couple other Elkins fights like Elkins and Swanson and, the TJ Brown fight. TJ Brown's a garbage can fucking bot that should have never been in the UFC. But guys, both the records are ugly, but Erosa's the younger one, the more dangerous finisher. Every time, Pierce decision is not a bad loss. Fuck, I do want to pick Elkins. But guys, I'm going to lean Erosa to win this fight by submission. I'm going to say it's a guillotine. I think he's going to get 2 guillotines in a row. I'm going to pick him by 3 guillotines in a row. You know what? Let's go for a 3P. I'm going to say he snatches up a guillotine on a bad takedown attempt. I think after he stings Darren Elkins, and I think he's going to be in the first round. I think he's going to submit him in the first round. And he's going to get Darren Elkins out of there, guys. I think that's going to be it for the pick. I do like this fight to not go the distance. I think either Elkins finishes a gassed out Erosa late or Erosa finishes him in the first 2. Yeah, guys, let's move on to finally a good fight on this card. The Dream, Chase Hooper, takes on A10 Jim Miller. Guys, I'm pretty confident Chase Hooper is going to win this fight by submission. The question is which sub. I'm going to say Darce choke. I'm going to say he Darce chokes Jim Miller in round 1. And we're going to be like, oh, this is a submission card. I think there's going to be a decent amount of subs on this card. There's a good amount of sub attempts, I'm assuming, that are going to be on this card. And I can see Hooper winning by decision. Or by like a ground and pound TKO, but I'm really confident in the submission prop, and I'm going to say Chase Hooper wins this fight by submission at minus 105 odds as a sub. Money line, obviously minus 900, which has grown to a minus 1,000, which I do think is wide because I think if this fight gets caught on the feet for a while, I think there's a chance Miller can chin him, you know what I mean? But, yeah, I'm saying Du Bronx I think Brooklyn Du Bronx is gonna submit Jim Miller, and the Spirit of Charles about to have fucking his 3rd win over Jim. Virna Kakara Jandiroba takes on Yan 9 Xiaonan. Guys, I think Jandiroba is gonna win this fight, and I'm fairly confident it's going to go to the distance. There's a chance Jandiroba throws up a random bullshit armbar, but I don't think she's going to be on her back much in this fight. Yes, she did go for an armbar from Mount, I think it was, I believe, against Lemos. Which that win aged greatly as Lemos just took out a contender in Lucindo. I don't like Xiaonan, man. I think, she beat, what was it? Andrade, Dern, and then Tabitha Ricci. Yeah, I think all 3 of those wins suck. And she's just haven't had a problem where she gets controlled on the ground a lot. And I think most of her wins or losses come by submission, if I recall. No? Yes? Nope. Most of them are decisions. Whaley one, she got knocked out, subbed, and decision, though. It was kind of rigged. I count that as a sub. No, I'm joking. But, yeah, guys, I think Jandiroba's either going to just take her down for 2 rounds. Xiaonan's going to have a strong 3rd round in this fight, I do believe. She's going to be able to stay at range, land some kicks, land some punches. I think she might rock Jandiroba at the end of the fight. But I'm going to say Jandiroba wins 29-28. Raul Rosas Jr. is going to win again. Man, this guy's fighting 2 weeks apart. No, I'm joking. But moving on up the card. Dan 50K Ige takes on Sean the Sniper Woodson. I'm going to go Sean Woodson decision, guys. I picked against this alien too many times. Watch, I guarantee you the one time I pick this fucking cunt, he's going to get chinned. But I'm going to trust Sean Woodson to be able to go to a decision with Dan Ige. I think he's going to not hurt Dan Ige. I think he's just going to pat him at range. Land nice boxing combination. I can see him landing a stinging, like a really stinging 1-2 on Ige and shattering Ige's nose. But I'm going to say he wins this fight 29-28, 29-28, and 130-27 for Sean Woodson. I think Ige's going to sting him, maybe, at some point, but I don't think Ige's got anything for finishing potential. He's a lot like Josh Emmett in the fact that if he doesn't knock you out with one punch, he's not going to knock you out at all. So yeah, guys, I'm going to lean Sean Woodson, the alien, ugly fucking Megamind looking fuck to win by decision. Luis Saldana literally KO'd this motherfucker, but yeah, guys, I'm going to say Sean Woodson wins by 29-28 and a 30-20 and 130-27 thrown in there for good measure. Just to say fuck you to Dan Ige for the judges, not dudges. Fucking retard. Moving on up the card, I'm going to be picking Dominic Reyes to win this fight via 3rd round knockout. Guys, I think this is going to be a really crazy fight. You know what? No, I'm going to say early 2nd round. I don't think it's going to go the longest. I think it's going to go a round at max. But I'm going to say Dominic Reyes finds that left straight like he does. Has that real great takedown defense. People forget Krylov's a grappler at heart. I do think Krylov's wins age really well. But Paul Craig did him dirty, you know what I mean? And I think people that are picking Krylov to win are picking him to win by knockout. But I think this confidence Reyes has, this I'm going to fucking knock you the fuck out mentality. At the press conference, he was very silent, he did seem like he was trying to get some aura farming, but, you know, can't farm no aura with that hairline, Reyes. Go to Turkey, dog. But I'm telling you, Dominic Reyes is going to win this fight. I feel, not a title run, but I feel like Reyes is going to do something pretty inspirational in the next couple of months. I have a feeling they booked for UFC Baku in Azerbaijan. They did Hill and fucking Roundtree rebooked. I cannot believe you guys rebooked 2 black guys to fight in Azerbaijan. But okay. If anyone pulls out of that fight, I have a weird feeling if Reyes wins this one, he'll step in. And I think Reyes is going to shock everyone and knock out Krylov as an underdog. I can see this fight also going to a split decision, but I'm going to say Dominic Reyes wins this fight via knockout. In round 2, early round 2, left straight, sits Krylov down bad. I actually think he's going to put Krylov out cold with a couple of hammer fists. And yeah, guys, I think Reyes is going to get a brutal finish in this fight. Not even if. I think he's going to stop all the takedowns if Krylov shoots. And I think he's going to knock Krylov out, man. I'm going to be going to underdog in Dominic Reyes at plus 155 odds to win this fight by knockout. Moving on up the card. Guys, Bryce Thug Nasty Mitchell, brother, takes on Gian Lord Silva. Guys have been so split down the middle. I can't wait to watch The Exorcist go down. Guys, I bet on Bryce Mitchell to bring a Bible into the octagon at plus 250. But I'm telling you guys, I have a weird, sneaking suspicion that my pick is going to come to fruition perfectly in this fight, and I think Gian Silva is going to be the winner. I think he's going to find the KO on Bryce Mitchell, sadly, and I think he's going to separate him from consciousness. I think it's going to be a lead left hook that sits Mitchell down and a couple more shots. I think it's going to be brutal elbows to finish him. I think we're in for a sick fight as long as it lasts. Bryce Mitchell's never boring, unless it was the Ige fight. But, you know, there was fun scrambles in the Ige fight. I just think that Mitchell KO that he came off of, he's not coming off of a win. Oh, no, he is. I forgot about the fucking Kron Gracie fight. Yeah, he knocked out Kron Gracie on the ground. What a bot can. But, guys, I'm just feeling something real bad happening to Bryce Mitchell in this fight. And I do think Bryce Mitchell's going to be able to hold him up against the fence. Going to be able to take Silva down in the first round. But I think Silva's going to start to recognize a pattern on Mitchell. I think he's going to find a left hook, sitting Mitchell down bad, and I think he's going to be able to finish it because he has the best finishing instincts at featherweight, bar none. I hope he calls out Lerone Murphy's bitch ass. The odds have went way down to exactly where they should be at minus 220. Minus 430 for Silva was wild. Guys, I think it's going to be a sick fight. I can't wait to see this fucking the Jew Slayer or the Jew Lover versus the German heretic. I can't wait to watch this fight, guys. Hitler's boy versus fucking the Jewish sensation, fucking Gian Silva. Tell me why all these Brits like these Jews. I don't get it. But, guys, moving on up the card. And the pick is going to be round 2. I think Gian Silva is going to find a left hook, brutalizing Bryce Mitchell. And I think it's going to be nasty ground and pound for the finish. Sadly, I really do want Mitchell to at least make it to a decision, but I just don't think he's going to. I think Mitchell's going to, or I think Silva's going to KO everyone he fights until he fights like I don't know. I don't know who the fuck beats him right now. He's on a tear. I'm going to lean Gian Silva, though, to win. And if he can stop those takedowns, Bryce Mitchell's fucked. And guys, I'm going to be moving on up the card to the featured fight. Yair El Pantera Rodriguez takes on Patricio Pitbull. I would have loved to see Pitbull in the UFC even 3-4 years ago. But the UFC is fucking gay. And they never would sign him. Guys, Andy had that rivalry with McKee at the time. But I don't like this loss to Shizuru Suzuki, man. He got knocked out pretty brutally in this fight. Yeah, it was at a pretty... I think it was at fucking bantamweight, this fight. But I just think he's going to be the way smaller guy against Yair. I thought Pitbull's would have a grappling advantage, and he does. But I can see him getting submitted as well. And I think Yair's going to absolutely tune him up on the feet while they're there. Yair's going to have good takedown defense early. I really do want to pick Pitbull. Like, I really, really do want to pick Pitbull and lean another underdog. But, guys, I'm going to be leaning the moderate favorite in Yair Rodriguez, especially after I fucking called that him and Diego Lopez would have a Mexican rage war. I had a feeling, dude. I watched their Yair's interview where he was like, you know, I don't want to, I represent my country. And I don't know if I lived in Mexico, like, bro, he was saying that if he lived in the U.S., or because he lives in the U.S., he doesn't represent the U.S., so Lopez just living in Mexico doesn't mean he needs to represent it. Fair point. I honestly kind of agree with Yair. But, you know, let the guy who represent who he wants to represent. And I'm going to be picking Yair Rodriguez to style on Patricio Pitbull, knock him down once, In the second round, I think it's going to be with a high kick, but Patricia's going to be tough. Stay in there, lose the fight by decision. And then moving on up the card, fucking Paddy the Body takes on Iron Michael Chandler. I think, guys, I'm pretty confident. I did the breakdown. I made the fucking vid. Paddy's going to get the fucking sub in round 3. Trust me, guys. Paddy's going to find this rear naked choke in round 3 on Michael Chandler. I've done the breakdown, so I don't really need to break this fight down too long. And guys, I'm gonna favor him to win the fight by 3rd round rear naked choke, guys. I think Chandler's gonna overswing on a couple of punches, leading him to getting his back taken in the first. And I think Paddy's gonna be able to outstrike Chandler in round 2, but he's gonna get stung, so they might give the round to Chandler. And then I think in round 3, he's gonna be kicking at Chandler the whole fight, and he's eventually gonna annoy Chandler. Chandler's gonna swing big and miss. Paddy's going to be on the back, and he's going to submit him with a rear naked choke in round 3. Guys, that's the pick. Go watch the breakdown, and here we are for the main fucking event. I'm about to do a main event breakdown later, so I won't make this one too long. But we're going to be finally going with, after a lot of hard thought, I think we're going to be going with Alexander Volkanovski. And I really don't want to do it. I really do want to pick Diego, but I can't. And I'm going to be saying Alexander Volkanovski wins this fight via round 4 TKO, via ground and pound. I think he's going to fuck up Diego Lopez if this fight gets anything past the 7th minute. I don't think Lopez is going to be able to fuck him up in the early minutes anyway. I think Lopez is going to be getting pieced until he lands something big. That's what people are praying for. I'm not praying on a knockout chance for a world title fight. The last underdog won in a title fight. It was Ankalaev. Guys, I'm going to be leaning Alexander Volkanovski to break the undisputed curse, 35 age or older. I think Volk's going to be one of those generational athletes, man, and I'm going to do that main card pick later, or not the main card pick, the main event breakdown later. Thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait to watch this card. The best bets video, I'm gonna announce it now. My best bets videos are gonna be their own thing now. I'm gonna make it a 7-minute to 8-minute video. I'm trying to make it 10 minutes. I might try and make it 10 minutes, but I don't need to make it longer than you guys need. I'm gonna make it a betting video, just letting you guys know my bets. And I honestly might do them on YouTube Shorts. Let me know if you guys want to see that. But yeah, so these are just going to be full-on predictions from now on. And yeah, the pick's going to be Alexander Volkanovski by round 4, ground and pound TKO. Let's go over all the fights really quick. I can't wait. Miami, Florida, US, man. 13 fights at the Chiesa Center. Fuck, dude, I can't wait for UFC 314. Let's quickly recap these picks. Volk, round 4 TKO. Paddy, round 3 submission, rear naked choke. Yair Rodriguez decision. Gian Silva round 2 KO. Dominic Reyes by KO in round 2. I kind of want to... You know what? I'm going to say KO's Krylov early. I'm going to say KO's him in the first round. Late first round, though. Late first round KO for Reyes. Sean Woodson decision. Jandaroba decision. Chase Hooper by submission in round 1. Darce choke. Julian Erosa by round 1 guillotine. Cedricus Dumas by decision. Mitch Raposo by decision. Marco Tulio by KO in round 1. And I think, or KO round 2, sorry. And I think Nora Cornell is going to win this fight by 30-27 unanimous decision. Scorecards for this fight will be 29-28 Jandaroba. And yeah, guys, that's going to do it for the video. I cannot wait. Let's go, guys. UFC 314 goes down tomorrow for me at 6 p.m. starts Eastern Standard Time. I can't wait. Just got this video under 30 minutes. How about that? See you all later. Bye-bye.